Jasmine.
And today we are going to Paper Museum.
But before that, we are going to have lunch at Hongyuan. We find our place to have a lunch here. It's a very beautiful building.
In Taichung, Paper Museum is a popular place for children and adults to visit. From the exterior of the building, Paper Museum has 2 stories. The building is very modern, and there are many cute paper decorations on the windows. It is a place to explore different kinds of papers.
There are at least 5,000 kinds of papers displayed in front of you. You are free to touch these papers to feel its texture. As you see, the walls show you color specifier. The view is neat because colors are arranged in good order. After you enter Paper Museum, you can collect memory stamps if you have a notebook with you. They are free, so both of us spend some time collecting these delicate memory stamps.
Now we look around the view in Paper Museum. Colored paper are in the shape of flowers and leaves, floating in the air. There are many books displaying on the table, so we take one of them to browse the content. It is the paper book which sets a new international standard in the selection and specification of creative papers.
We take around to see delicate paper crafts. Here, a 3-dimensional camera is made by cardboard. Then we can see origami, which means paper folding in Japanese. Next, here are tiny buildings. They are in different sizes, and the roof with a chimney is exquisite. Next, there are merry-go-round and Ferris wheel. Besides, carved with dried flowers are also attractive.
And now let's talk about the history of paper. Egyptians had discovered paper by pressing papyrus strips together. Papyrus was made from the stalks of a reed that grew primarily along the banks of the Nile River in Egypt.
The fresh stalks were cut into lengths,
Sliced into strips, laid in 2 overlapping layers at right angles to each other.
Finally, the fresh stalks were pressed together and dried. Paper's first rolls has been made from 3000 BCE and exported from Egypt to Greece
and other Mediterranean lands.
In the factory, food is turned into small chips. Then, small chips are boiled with caustic soda and other chemicals to soften them. Next, strip them in a paper-making machine. The fibers of wood are separated. Then, pulp is formed. Pulp is something like a paste, which is spread on a conveyor belt. Then, it is moved by rollers to turn into dry paper. These rolls are used to manufacture paper, cardboard, and paper bags. After we know the process of producing paper, we are going to emphasize the importance of recycling.
The paper can be used up to 7 times. Recycling paper conserves natural resources, saves energy, reduces greenhouse gas emissions,
and keeps landfill space free for other types of trash that cannot be recycled. As we mentioned before, fibers are the core element to make paper. In Han Dynasty, the quality of fibers had been largely increased. Fibers could be found in different kinds of plants, including the stems of grasses, tree bark, and hemp. They were blended to produce the highest quality of paper. Hemp was common material for making paper. Then, hemp had been replaced by rattan for centuries. In 8th century CE, rattan was replaced by bamboo fibers as the most common raw material. The reason why rattan was replaced was that the need for paper was so enormous that the slow-growing plants could not supply. Therefore, bamboo became the common ingredient because it grew much faster than hemp. From the Song Dynasty, the technique of paper production became progressive. Besides, the raw material for making paper is the boiled bark of mulberry tree. Due to the high quality of production, paper from China had been traded to foreign countries along the Silk Road. In fact, sheets of paper were in different sizes and a wide range of color shades. Materials, techniques, and preferences varied from region to region. Special paper with an enchanting texture, pattern, or coloring was reserved for calligraphy and art. These types of paper were made of rice, with straw, sandalwood bark, and even seaweed. Paper makers in China had kept a secret of paper making technique. However, the war called the Battle of Hellas transmitted the paper making technology to the Middle East by Arabia. Then, Baghdad became a main producer of paper. The paper-making technology also spread to medieval Europe. Not only China, but also Western countries could produce high-quality paper of its own. The invention of paper profoundly motivated the spread of literature and literacy, which made books cheaper and convenient. Furthermore, the combination of brush, ink, and paper has supported calligraphy and painting as the most important areas of art in China for the next 2 millennia. In the 8th century CE, with the invention of block printing, the demand for paper surged, particularly from Buddhist scholars and temples. In the 10th century CE, when there was the Neo-Confucian revival, the printing of Confucian classics positively increased. Paper was so greatly valued in China that it was used to pay taxes during the Tang Dynasty. In addition, Tang Dynasty also imposed a color code on the use of paper. Each color represents different purposes. White paper had been reserved for legal documents, yellow for government purposes, and blue for communications with Taoist temples. From the 11th and 12th century CE, with the invention of movable type printing, paper had become thicker in order to receive the heavy metal blocks of type. printing press, machine by which text and images are transferred to paper or other media by means of ink. Although movable type, as well as paper, first appeared in China, it was in Europe that printing press became mechanized. Books were expensive and rare during the Middle Ages. Each copy of a book typically has to be written by hand, copied by page. In the mid-1400s, a German pragmatist named Johannes Gutenberg developed a way to handle this process by machine, which is the first printing press. His invention combined movable pieces of magnetite that could be reused with the press. Then, it could produce sharp impressions on paper over and over again. The printing press made it possible to produce books quickly, which enabled them to be reproduced in great numbers. Before the existence of the printing press, books belonged to the upper classes. However, books were so available that the middle classes could access them as well. Therefore, literacy and education of the public increased. To sum up, the development of the printing press motivated the spread of information across all classes in society.